8.9, they also had another issue. How should the chief executive be elected? So basically, the chief executive is the president of the United States. How did they come about to decide how that person would be selected? So another major question facing the delegates concerned who would head the new government's executive branch. Early in the convention, Charles Pinckney urged the creation of a vigorous executive. James Wilson followed with a proposal that a single person serve as the chief executive. A sudden silence fell over the convention. A single executive? Just the words brought to mind unhappy memories of King George III. Wilson broke the silence by explaining that good government depends on clear, timely, and responsible leadership. Such leadership, he said, is most likely to be found in a single person. So should there be one executive or three, they were trying to decide. Edmund Randolph of Virginia disliked this proposal. He preferred a three-member executive drawn from different parts of the country. Three people, he argued, could lead the country better than one. Benjamin Franklin opposed a single executive for different reasons. The first man put at the helm will be a good one, said Franklin, thinking of George Washington. Nobody knows what sort may come afterwards. The next chief executive, he warned, might be overly ambitious or too fond of war. In spite of these objections, the framers agreed to a single executive to be called the president. To keep this leader from becoming too king-like, they limited the president's term to 4 years. A vice president was also to be elected to fill that term if the president died in office. Choosing the chief executive. So equally troubling was the issue of how to choose the chief executive. Some delegates wanted Congress to appoint the president. Governor Morris objected. The president must not be made a flunky of the Congress, he argued. It must not be able to say to him, you owe your appointment to us. Meaning that if Congress could kind of say, have control over the president if they choose him. Several delegates thought that the people should elect the president. Madison, however, argued that voters would naturally vote for someone from their own state. As a result, this method would not be fair to candidates from small states. Still, others suggested that the president be elected by a specially chosen group of electors from each state. Such a group, they felt, would be able to look beyond state interests to make a wise choice for the entire country. So again, there's a question of, like, if you have a smaller population, you don't have enough people to vote for that person. So we have electors. If we look at the questions that you need to answer for 8.9, branch of the chief executive will head president. Why did the framers dislike the idea of one ruler? It reminded them of King George. He might try to be too powerful. How did they limit the president's power? They only gave him 4 years to run or to rule the country. Besides deciding how many executives there should be, the framers also had to decide how should he be chosen or voted into office. And that leads to the Electoral College, which we will discuss next.